Hello everyone, this is Swamy. Welcome to Code by Swamy. In the previous video, we implemented lookup method injection. In this video, we are going to understand depends on autowired and qualifier annotations. First of all, what is depends on annotation? The depends on annotation can force the IOC container to initialize one or more beans before the bean which is annotated with the depends on. Means it forces the IOC, hey IOC, first of all create the object for other beans. After that create my class bean object. Like that it can order the IOC. Next, autowired. This annotation is mainly responsible to perform the dependency injection. That's why we are using autowired annotation. What is qualifier? If we have more than one bean of same type and want to wire only one of them, then we can go for qualifier annotation. Assume if we have 1000 bean definitions are available in my configuration file, in that I want to choose only one, then that is possible only by qualifier annotation. Okay, let's move to Eclipse IDE so we can implement one by one. Let's move. File, new, Maven project, create a simple Maven project. Next, enter group ID com.code by Swamy 14 depends on qualifier. Changing version to 1.0, click finish. Open the application, go inside pom.xml file, and we need to add dependencies like here we need to add dependencies tag. Inside that we need to add spring context dependency. For that, open the browser, search with mvnrepository.com, spring context, enter spring context, choose spring context. I'm selecting 5.3.13, it is the latest version. Copy the dependency and paste under dependencies tag. Above the dependencies, I'm taking Maven compiler plugin Java 8. Here the Maven is a build tool. It is create the application with 1.5 version, but I want to change to 1.8 version by using properties tag. Paste it, align the code and close the file. Let's update the project. Alt F5. Yes, project is updated. Here the version is changed to 1.8 and spring related jars also added to the application. This time I am ready with the setup. I am creating one bean class under src main Java. Here I am writing bean3 com.code by Swamy .beans. It is my bean class. I declared bean3. Here I am writing just one constructor. I want to know whether the object is created or not. Sysout bean3 object is created with its constructor. Like this. Close it. And this time creating bean2. I'm taking one constructor. In that I'm adding. This time bean2 object is created with its constructor. Close it. This time I'm adding bean1. Here also I'm adding constructor. I'm printing line. Bean1 object is created. Like this. Before to that, I want to inject bean2 and bean3 classes into bean1. For that, private bean2 on top of it I am writing autowired annotation. Next, private bean3. Here also I am annotating with autowired. Responsible to inject dependent class into target class, means to perform dependency injection. For that only we are using autowired annotation. This time I'm writing one configuration file, config applying configuration annotation on top of config, because this time I'm implementing Java configuration. I'm writing methods bean1 is the method name, return new bean1. I'm writing @bean annotation on top of bean1. Similarly, I'm writing bean2 return new bean2. I'm writing @bean annotation on top of method, as well as I'm writing bean3 return new bean3. I'm writing @bean. Observe carefully, guys. This time I'm writing depends on annotation. Here value I'm taking flower brackets. Here I'm choosing flower brackets to include 2 or more methods. See, here I'm taking bean2, copy bean2 and go here, paste it. Similarly, I'm taking bean3, I'm pasting bean3. What is the meaning of this line? Means this depends on annotation. Force the IOC container. Hey IOC container, first of all you have to create the object for bean2, after that bean3. After creation of bean2 and bean3, then you have to create my bean class object. That is the meaning of this line. Okay, we can understand at the execution time. For that I am writing one test class to test the application. Test finish. Main method I am writing here. This time I am working with Java configuration. For that, new annotation config application context config.class returns context application context. It returns application context. Okay. Here I am not going to call context and getBean method. I am not printing anything because my intention is one thing. I want to show how depends on annotation will work. For that, I have taken 3 classes, means 3 beans. In that, I declared 3 constructors with some SOP statements. Just run the application, you have to observe. Let's run the application. See, bean2, bean3, bean1. Just open the configuration file. First of all, we declared bean2. For that, bean2 object. Next, I gave bean3. For that, bean3 object is created. After creation of both the files, then bean1 object is created. If you want to change, here I am changing this to bean3. Here I am changing to bean2. Observe here, first of all, IOC container will create object for bean3, next bean2, after that bean1. First of all, first preference goes to bean3, next bean2, later bean1. Okay, let's go to test class, observe the flow, run the application. First of all, bean3. Yes, bean3 object is created. Next bean2. Yes, bean2. Next bean1. Yes, bean1. So, what is the depends on annotation? It forces the IOC container. IOC, first of all, you have to create these objects. After creation of those objects, finally, you have to create my object. That's the meaning. Okay. With this, we completed autowired annotation and depends on annotation. Okay. Next one is qualifier. Let's close the application. Close project. File. New Maven project. create simple man project. Next, enter group ID com dot code by Swamy, artifact ID 15. This time I am creating qualifier annotation app 1.0 finish. I am taking dependencies from existing application. Open pom.xml and copy the details. Open the latest application, go inside the pom.xml file. After version tag, I am pasting this. Let's align the code. Close the file. Here I am creating one bean class under src main java com dot code by Swamy dot beans and declaring some properties: private string name, private string address. For this I am writing default constructor, setters and getters, toString method. Yes, I have done with default constructors, setters and getters as well toString method. This time I am creating one more class with the name company. This time I am writing one constructor with SOP statement. Here I am adding from company class. Yes. Here I am writing method public void print employee name. I want to print the employee name. How to print the employee name? For that I am using employee class. I want to inject employee class into company class. For that, private employee on top of this I am writing autowired annotation. The main role of autowired is to perform the dependency injection. I can use this employee variable. Here I am printing one message employee name plus employee dot get name. Similarly I am creating one more method public void print employee address. System.out.println employee address employee dot get address. Yes, as of now I created constructor and two methods. Close this. This time I am writing configuration file under src main resources. Search with spring bean configuration file. Next, enter file name beans.xml. Next, choose beans context. Next, finish. Yes, beans.xml file is created. Here I am defining beans. Before to that I am working with annotations. For that I want to activate the annotation. Context colon annotation config. With the help of this tag it can activate the annotations. Okay. Now I am declaring beans. Bean name is equal to company. Class is equal to company. Fully qualified name I am giving. Next, bean name is equal to employee. Class is equal to employee. Here I am setting data using property, means I am working with setter injection. For that I am set the data. Name is equal to name. Value is equal to Swamy. My name only I am giving. Similarly, property name is equal to address. I am giving value is equal to HOID I am giving. Let's align the code. Now this time I am writing test class to test the application. Test, changing the package name also test. main method public static void main. This time I am working with XML file. For that, new class path XML application context. Here I am giving beans.xml file. It returns application context. Then context dot get bean of company dot class returns company object only. Now this time I am calling company dot print employee name, company dot print employee address. Let's run the application as of now. Here the company class object is created. This is employee name and employee address. Yes. Assume as of now we are worked with only one bean definition. If we have multiple bean definitions of same type, like employee, as of now I have taken 4. Employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, this is employee 4. Assume this employee name is Swamy, this employee name is Krishna, this employee name is Ram, this employee name is Simha. Assume like that. But my requirement is I want to print Simha data, but I want to work with this file. Then how to do? Here the bean name is employee 4. I am copying this bean name. I am going to company class. Here this employee is annotated with @autowired. Here I am using @qualifier annotation. I want to work with Simha. I want to print Simha here. Okay. For that I have taken employee 4. Go to test class. Just run the application. Yes. This time we are printing Simha. No, I don't want Simha. I want to print Ram. For that I am taking employee 3. Go to company. Just paste here employee 3. I want to Ram here. Just go to test class, just run the application. Yes, we are accessing, we are getting Ram. With this we completed @autowired, @dependency as well as @qualifier annotation also. Thank you everyone. If you like my content, please do subscribe.